The trailer opens not with spectacle but with breath, heavy, raw, human breath echoing through darkness, and then silence. HBO knows what it's doing. Before we see the world, before we understand the stakes, we hear the weight of a question that will define the entire series. So, Ser Duncan the Tall, how good a knight are you? This isn't just dialogue. This is judgment. This is destiny being whispered into a man who has no crown, no sigil, no legacy, only a borrowed sword and the stubborn belief that honor still means something in Westeros. We watch Duncan stand there, stripped of privilege, stripped of armor, stripped of the romanticism people associate with knights. His breathing is the breathing of a man who has carried his life on foot mile by mile with nothing but a dream to defend. Then, suddenly, go! The music crashes, the silence fractures, and the trailer punches us into a new rhythm. There is no hesitation, no poetic transition. It's a shove into chaos. And this is where HBO hits us with its signature tone. The trailer immediately frames Ser Duncan as a man who doesn't belong in the gilded world of banners and bloodlines. The nobles talk down to him, the crowds laugh at him. Even the camera angles isolate him, keeping him visually lower than everyone else. But that's the hook. This is not the story of a warrior born into greatness. This is the story of a man trying to earn it in a world where honor is a myth and power belongs to tyrants. And it all begins with a single, haunting question hanging in the air. How good a knight are you? The tone shifts as adventurous music kicks in, but even that melody feels like it's fighting against the tension beneath it. We see the dusty roads, the worn-out cloak, the cheap armor. This is the life of a hedge knight, traveling, broke, mocked, and barely surviving. The trailer makes it painfully clear. Ser Duncan is not a glamorous knight. He is a practical one. He walks into the tourney not as a hero, but as a nobody, a man mistaken for a farmer, a man who can't afford proper armor, a man who shows up hoping that maybe, just maybe, a victory will get him noticed by a noble house. He dreams of earning a place in a world that doesn't want him. And then, Egg. A small boy with a shaved head, staring at Duncan with something between admiration and mischief. He offers to become Duncan's squire, but that moment is bigger than the trailer admits. Egg is choosing Duncan, a child who secretly carries the blood of the most dangerous dynasty in Westeros, choosing the poorest knight alive. It's a moment of inversion, a commentary on class, a clue toward destiny. When Duncan says, Sir Arlen raised me to be a true knight, not with sword or lance, but with honor. The trailer sets the thesis of the series. This isn't about skill, it's about humanity. But power is shifting. The tourney, once portrayed as festive, starts to feel like a trap, a stage for nobles to humiliate the weak. A place where reputations are forged with threats, not valor, the mocking line. It's like a knight, but sadder. Isn't just humor, it's world building. Westeros doesn't value men like Duncan, but it will. This chapter of the trailer is where the real tension breathes. First, Aerion Targaryen. Sharp cheekbones, cold eyes, entitlement dripping off every word. When someone says, Aerion would like your head, it's not hyperbole, it's prophecy. Aerion isn't just a bully, he is a symbol, a warning of what happens when divine bloodlines believe themselves untouchable, and Duncan becomes the target of that cruelty. His dream of becoming a champion turns into a nightmare of surviving the wrath of a prince. Meanwhile, Egg sticks to him, the camera showing shots where the boy is almost instinctively drawn to Duncan's sense of right and wrong. For viewers who know the lore, every one of Egg's words carries the weight of future history. Egg is the soul of Westeros, Duncan is the conscience. Together they form the heart of this story. The mid-trailer section reveals subtle metaphors: sheep bleating, innocence in a world of predators, crowd laughter, humiliation, Duncan's plain clothes versus noble armor, class warfare, a hedge knight walking alone, moral isolation. The trailer is filled with symbolic contrasts. Even the sunlight and shadow work narratively. Scenes with Duncan often use natural light, warm, earnest, unpolished. Scenes with nobles use colder tones, controlled, artificial, guarded. HBO is quietly telling us, honor lives in the dirt, not the throne room. The music grows darker, the tension sharpens, the stakes tighten around Duncan's neck. He says, maybe the gods figured this is what I deserve. And it's a moment of brutal honesty. That line captures the psychological wound beneath Duncan's journey. He feels unworthy of greatness but unable to abandon the idea of it. Then we get one of the trailer's most chilling exchanges. You may be wise to run. Won't they kill me if I run? Won't they kill you anyway? This is classic Westeros logic. There is no mercy, no escape, only survival. Then the dragon roar, not as a reveal, but as a warning. HBO is signaling that dragons are not symbols of hope. They are symbols of uncontrollable destiny. And then comes the defining moment of the entire trailer. Duncan stands before nobles, warriors, cowards, men sworn to defend truth, and he shouts, "Has honor deserted the noble houses of Westeros? Are there no true knights among you?" This is the soul of the series condensed into 12 seconds. A lowborn knight calling out the entire system. A single man daring to challenge the corruption of the realm. And that silence that follows, that awkward cough, isn't just comedic timing, it is commentary. The realm has become so hollow that even a plea for honor sounds embarrassing. But in that silence, revolution begins. Now we shift from analysis to speculation grounded in trailer evidence. Baelor's intentions are mixed. Is he testing Duncan? Guiding him? Setting him up? The tone of his question feels both respectful and foreboding. Egg's role is larger than the trailer admits. His shaved head is not random, his boldness is not childish. He is the future, and Duncan is unknowingly shaping it. Arion is more than a villain. He represents rot within nobility. His desire for Duncan's head indicates a feud that will escalate beyond the tourney. The trailer hints at personal humiliation, not political. The theme, honor versus the system, defines the show. Every scene reinforces this. Duncan's humility, crowd's laughter, noble's cruelty, Egg's devotion, the dragon's roar. This is not a fairy tale. This is a moral battleground. The comedic stinger at the end hints at tonal balance. HBO wants to show that despite the brutality, this series will carry a grounded humanity, awkward, real, and warm. We're looking at a show that will blend gritty medieval politics, underdog determination, slow burn character growth, dangerous Targaryen dynamics and quiet humor, and above all, a quest to resurrect true knighthood in a world that's forgotten what it means. The final frames of the trailer promise exactly what fans crave. A grounded, character-driven story where swords matter less than conscience. Ser Duncan the Tall isn't here to be a hero. He's here to remind Westeros what a hero is supposed to be.